The Cleveland Cavaliers fired head coach Tyronn Lue after an 0-6 start to the season. Tyronn Lue earlier today thanked the Cleveland Cavaliers management, Dan Gilbert, the owner, former general manager, I think his name David Griffin, the current general manager whose name I don't know, Kevin Love, and LeBron James via social media praised Tyronn Lue and Larry Drew, who was insisted would be promoted to interim head coach. I think I read that Larry Drew would prefer to be named head coach, fully instated at that position and head coach. During his tenure with the team, Tyronn Lue was 128 and 83, so it's a pretty good record. Top of my head, that's somewhere around a 60% winning percentage, so that's pretty good. Here's my take on the situation. Now, this would, you know, it would depend on whether or not Tyronn Lue really wanted to stay. Now, I was reading that he and the current general manager were at odds with how Tyronn Lue was distributing minutes with certain players and starting. The general manager wanted the team to start more of the younger players. And Tyronn Lue preferred starting the older starters, the ones we're accustomed to seeing, like J.R. Smith and players of that stature or status. And the last game I believe that they played, Tyronn Lue started the players that he wanted to start, the older players, without the consent or notification of what he was going to do to the general manager. So that caused a supposed rift. Now, the reason why I bring up whether or not he really wanted to stay is because I've also read that Tyronn Lue was walking away with $15 million. Now, this was due to the deal that he signed after the club won the 2016 NBA championship. Now, if I'm Tyronn Lue, and I know we're going to have a dreadful season, remember when LeBron James left the first time, Cleveland dropped from 61 wins all the way down to 19 wins. The reigning head coach of the year at that time, what was his name, Mike Brown, was fired. And a rash of injuries just devastated the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, are they only going to win 19 games this year? I don't think so, but, they're going to be pretty bad. So did he sort of throw a monkey wrench in the scheme of things, on purpose so he could walk away with the money and not have to deal with the headache? I don't know about that. But this is my take. If he really wanted to stay, I think he deserved at least the season. All right? This is a guy, Tyronn Lue, let's remember, who was at the helm of a team that went to 4 consecutive NBA finals. 4. Phil Jackson, as great as he was, never did that. I think Pat Riley did it. I got to think about it for a second. But Pat Riley did it. I think he did it 1982, 83, 84, and 85. And of course, Red Auerbach did it during the 1960s Boston Celtic dynasty. So Tyronn Lue was at the helm of something very magical. And we also have to remember that Tyronn Lue completely outcoached Steve Kerr the last three games of the 2016 NBA Finals when Cleveland improbably defeated the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. Now, yes, Draymond Green was suspended for Game 5. Yes, Andrew Bogut sustained an injury in Game 6. And with his rim protection no longer being a factor, it completely changed the way that Cleveland went about their offense. So yeah, those things matter, but in the grand scheme of things, Tyronn Lue outcoached Steve Kerr. I think the man deserved at least this season. All right, just this season. I think it's kind of disrespectful to just get rid of a guy like him after only 6 games. You have to also remember that they don't have LeBron James. I mean, he's gone. Kyrie Irving is long gone. What do you expect? I mean, do you really expect this team to make the playoffs with the roster that they have? When we see so many different teams, the Eastern Conference finally starting to improve, LeBron James is no longer in the Eastern Conference. So you don't have LeBron James' shoulders to hang on anymore. So it's unrealistic to expect Cleveland to still make the playoffs. The Eastern Conference is very competitive, but the other teams are now, for the most part, above the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that's my take on it, man. I think that I thought that he deserved at least this season. All right, just that. Now, I mean, even if they went like 25 and 57 or something like that, I mean, still, I think he deserved at least one season. And then I can understand if you terminated him, man. But this is a guy who helped to bring Cleveland their first NBA championship in 52 years. Well, no, not just NBA championship, what I'm talking about. He helped to bring Cleveland his first professional championship in 52 years. Whether you're talking about football, basketball, baseball, what have you. Cleveland has been very unlucky. The Cleveland Indians have been very unlucky. The Cleveland Browns have been, to say they're unlucky is an understatement. So what LeBron James was able to do in the 4 years that he came back to the organization is amazing. And Tyronn Lue, in the roughly 3.5 years that he was the head coach, did some amazing things. So I understand that the organization want to go in a different direction, but I think that Tyronn Lue deserved at least that. That's just my opinion on the situation. I know some of you guys might not agree with that. So, what's next for Tyronn Lue? I don't know. I would certainly think that, coaching is probably not something that he's interested in at the very moment. Maybe he might do some guest analysis spots or something like that. I would love to hear Tyronn Lue, his thoughts, maybe on a show like TNT, as a guest analyst. But those are my thoughts, man. But that's it. That's it, pretty much, man. That's all I got to say about the situation. Tell me what you guys think.